ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I call myself a confident backseat driver. Mom, brakes, please.
Gotcha.
But I'm less confident in the economy.
Same here, buddy.
Thankfully, Les Schwab Tires helps make sure that our safety never takes a backseat, even when we're watching our wallets.
Roll into summer. Save up to $200 instantly on a wide selection of tires and wheels. Les Schwab Tires. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. Details at leschwab.com/sale.
Lexus is electrified, and the first ever RZ450e has the performance and range to get you where you need to go with the exclusive Lexus Direct 4 all-wheel drive technology. Lexus of Bellevue has over 50 RZs available for immediate delivery with electrifying savings up to $17,000 lease cash on every RZ450e. Visit lexusofbellevue.com.
On approval of credit through LFS, lease cash from Lexus available on select 2024 RZ styles. Must take delivery by July 1st, 2024. A documentary service fee up to $200 may be added to the purchase price or capitalized costs. See dealership for details.
Arbor Barber Tree Service reminds parents to talk with your teenage drivers about the dangers of distracted driving and texting behind the wheel. Make a family agreement to never drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs, or ride with a driver who is. Always designate a sober driver, use a ride share, or call a parent for a safe ride home. Best wishes to the class of 2024 from the entire team at Arbor Barber Tree Service, Washington's #1 tree service. Online at arborbarber.com.
A slow network is no network for business. That's why more choose Comcast Business. And now we're introducing Ultimate Speed for Business, our fastest plans yet. We're up to 12 times faster than Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. And existing customers could even get up to triple the speeds at no additional cost. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability and advanced cybersecurity. It's ultimate speed from Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Don't miss out on our fastest speed plans yet. Get started with internet and security for $49.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 prepaid card with a qualifying internet package. Don't wait. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com to switch today. In 6/23/24, restrictions apply. New customers only with 150 megabits per second internet and security edge. Eco-bill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Compares Comcast Business 1.25 gig to 100 megabits per second of Verizon 5G Business, AT&T Wireless Broadband, and T-Mobile for Business. Up to 3 times download for existing essential and standard internet customers.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners in Cleveland to take on the Guardians. Game 1 of a 3-game series coming up in about an hour from now. They have made a roster move. They reinstate Ty France from the 10-day injured list. He had that right heel fracture after being hit by a pitch, so he's been reinstated, and in turn, Sebi Zavala has been designated for assignment. So it looks like Mitch Garver is now your primary backup catcher. Meanwhile, in the world of the WNBA, the Indiana Fever's 91-83 victory over the Chicago Sky on Sunday was the WNBA's most-watched game in 23 years, according to CBS. A game featuring Caitlin Clark, the #1 overall pick, and the #7 overall pick, Angel Reese of the Sky, averaged 2.25 million viewers, which represents a 225% increase over a comparable game window last season, viewership peaking at 3 million viewers.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Construction Loans.
This is Wyman and Bob
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710 and seattlesports.com on a beautiful day outside. Mariners get back to business, which means everything is right in the world. With the day off yesterday, we just didn't know what to do with ourselves. But they get back to it today. Game 1 of their series with the Guardians begins today. We'll have our conversation with Mike Blowers coming up here in a matter of moments. But Big series, Dave. We talked about it yesterday that this is, sweeping the Texas Rangers was the more important series in terms of where you're trying to go in your division. Certainly the team chasing you take all three, increase that division lead to 8.5 games. But this is probably the better measuring stick if we're trying to figure out, all right, are the Mariners a good team? Are they a great team? Are they so-so? They're just beating up on weak opposition? Whatever your opinion of their season is to this point, this series represents a good measuring stick against a team that beat them in the second series of the season. They split with Boston to open the year, and then they faced the Guardians in Seattle and dropped 2 of 3.
Yeah, that was when Kirby had that really bad outing, and it's kind of interesting team. I mean, they lost 3 out of 4 to the White Sox at one point, and then turned it around, and so yeah, they went 12-1 at one point. So this is a good team. I agree with you. I think it's a good measuring stick. They just coming off a loss against Toronto, a series. But what do you think of when you hear Ramirez's name, Jose Ramirez? I always think about that
I know what you're going to say. You're going to say Matt Brash's slider, and he twisted into the ground.
Exactly. And I just think he is a badass. I mean, I love – he's one of those guys, like, go look at his picture. If you just go look at his picture, that's kind of who he is. He just looks nasty. It's kind of like Frank Gore's headshot, but I think Jose Ramirez is a great player. He's only 5'9", 190 pounds, and definitely one of their better players. He's tied for 6th as far as home runs. So yeah, it's going to be a tough series.
Yeah, it is, and I love that it's happening now. It's going to be, again, a good way to sort of get a gauge. It doesn't listen. You're still not even halfway through the season yet, so whether they win 3. They lose 3, they win 1, 2, whatever they do, it doesn't dictate who they are for the rest of the year. Certainly you want to win the series. That's the goal. You want to take 2 of 3. If they drop 2 of 3, I'm not going to be happy, but I'm not going to go, this team's fool's gold. They've been beating up bad teams, and no, I'm not going to say that at all, but I would feel much better with a series win.
Oh, yeah, definitely on the road. So, yeah, I mean, I do think this is going to be a tough one, though, but I was just listening to the dugout, and Shannon Dreyer was talking about how, Bryce Miller's going to face a lot of, I think, one righty. She said one righty in this game today.
Yeah, it was going to be interesting. Bryce Miller going to get out there and hopefully get things started on the right foot. We get things started on the right foot here with a conversation with the best in the business, Mike Blowers.
It's time.
He really moved the ball around today. That was a lot of fun to watch.
For Seattle's best baseball analyst, Mike Blowers.
The 1-1 pitch to Blowers. Swung on and belted deep to center field. To the track. The wall. Fly away.
With Wyman and Bob.
It is that time, everybody. We look forward to this conversation each and every week, talking some baseball with the best in the business. You hear him every single game with your Seattle Mariners, who are sitting 8.5 games in front of the Texas Rangers. It's a beautiful place to be. He's with us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. He is Mike Blowers. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, Bob. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you. And it's amazing to see this. See the records that Mariners media sends out, that the Mariners have not been in this position this far ahead in the division since 2001. Over 2 decades ago, they were in a position like this. And we talk so much about what they don't do offensively and where they rank offensively. It really reemphasizes what we've discussed all year, how dominant this rotation is. And they, combined in this Texas series, Mike, 0.95 ERA between the 3 starters. Are you still amazed by what you see from these guys, or are you kind of numb to it at this point?
I think that it's what I expect from them. It's almost a shocker if one of them goes out and has a bad game, which doesn't happen very often, but it's something that I would expect. And then it's just a matter of, are they going to put together enough offense to make that hold up? And fortunately against Texas Rangers, that's exactly what happened.
Hey, Mike, speaking of that, how about Logan Gilbert? Bob and I last year, we would kind of check back in, like, who should be the ace? Just kind of a little exercise that we had. Would you look at Logan that way? Is he pitching? I mean, obviously the numbers don't lie, but like as far as his command and just what he means for this team, do you think? I mean, I don't think they're going to change, but would you say that he's the most dominant pitcher right now?
I think you got to put Castillo in there. He obviously got off to a little bit of a slow start, but he's been terrific. I mean, I think it was 8 or 9 games in a row where he went out there and went at least 6 innings and 2 runs or less. That's pretty dominant stuff, and he's been really consistent since he had that rough start of the season. And so I think I'd probably put him out there just because the other thing is he has a little more experience. He's the guy that you've extended and paid to be that ace, and so I'd put Castillo out there. But Logan is somebody that would be an ace on the majority of other staffs. There's no question about it. And I think you can put Kirby in that same thing. So we're trying to figure out Miller and where he's going. But as far as the staff goes, it's just every guy you turn over, you could probably look at them as an ace for some other organization. But I'd stay with Castillo right now. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen starting in the game tonight because everybody's going to have an extra day rest, which is a good thing. They needed it. They've played so much baseball and haven't had a chance to go 6 days or 5 days and then pitch. They've been going on their regular turn every time, which can be difficult, and we've seen that too. But I think overall they've been dominant, and this is the strength of the club. We've talked about it all year, and I don't think it's changed in my mind.
You know, it's interesting, Mike, as you look at the series with the White Sox, they take 3 of 4. And you kind of came out of it going, yeah, bottom line, you did what you needed to do. You won 3 of 4, but it didn't feel awesome because they were trailing. They were being dominated by the starters. They needed late-inning heroics in all of these games. You could have been swept by the White Sox at home, and then you go out and you look as complete as maybe they've looked all year in terms of pitching and offense and defense against the Rangers, who are a better team. How do you explain that? Is it focus? Is it just all about matchups? What was the biggest difference in what we saw in terms of performance, offensively speaking, against the White Sox versus the Rangers?
Well, Bob, the thing about it for me is I haven't been able to put my finger on that part of it because it's not just the White Sox or the Rangers. It's been going this way for a while where, for whatever reason, offensively, they've struggled against starters. And then their own pitching keeps them in the game, and they find a way later in the game to beat up on some pretty good bullpens, actually, which isn't the way it's supposed to work, but that's the way they've gone about it. And why they struggle against the starting pitching, I just don't know. Sometimes it makes sense. So you see Crochet that last day. He had dominant stuff. He was as good as anybody I've seen this year. And so you can kind of understand that. But the rest of the guys, you would figure they would get to him, but they just haven't been able to do that. But the good news is they stay in the games. They're within a run all the time, and that gives them an opportunity to get things turned around late and win, and that's what they've done. Now, it's a little bit more difficult to do that when you're on the road, so we're going to find out. This is a long road trip for them where they're really at, and Cleveland's playing well. Miami has struggled. Tampa Bay, I'm not sure what's going on with those guys, but they're always a problem. So we'll see how this road trip goes because I think that formula doesn't really work as well on the road as it does at home.
What do you make of the strikeouts, Mike? Because I was looking at the list. They have 4 in the top 25. And then the other thing I noticed is that Caballero, Teoscar Hernandez, Eugenio Suarez, they're in the top 50 as well. But it just, I don't know. I mean, can you live with that? I mean, is that something, have you seen a team that strikes out that much that, makes it into the playoffs and has success? Have you seen that before?
Only if they're hitting the ball out of the ballpark, Dave. That's what you have to do. If you're gonna punch out at the rate that they are, then you have to hit the ball out of the ballpark, unless you have elite pitching, which they do. Like I said, so it doesn't take a lot for them to get things turned around. They're going to win a lot of low-scoring ball games. They're going to win by 1 or 2 runs. Scott has said that many times. That's just the way that they are. But if you're going to punch out, you have to hit the ball out of the ballpark or have elite pitching, and they certainly have the elite pitching.
Hey, what is your impression of Tyler Locklear? I know he's only played in 8 games, and he's had a couple of good moments offensively. But what stood out to me, Mike, is his defense in his range. And I mean, if we're being honest, he saved that team's backside in that game against the Rangers, where the bullpen kind of started melting down. 7-1 lead going into the 9th. All of a sudden, it's 7-5. 2 runners on, hot shot down the first base line, and he makes a brilliant defensive play to really save that game, in my opinion. But just, I'm curious how he fits in. I mean, Ty France is back. They DFA'd Sebi Savala. So I'm curious how you see him working in with Ty France coming back. Do you see a platoon situation? Do you see him eventually going back to AAA? What would you do with him?
Well, first of all, I'm really intrigued by him. I would tell you that. You're right. His defense has been really good over at first base. He's a guy that has played third base, and I think that going over to first base has made that transition a little bit easier for him compared to third. So we might see him play a little bit of third also. I don't know if he's going to have enough ability to go into the outfield. He seems like a really good athlete, but I'm intrigued by him because he's definitely got power in his bat. When I watch him take BP, the ball really jumps off of his bat. So there's a lot of things to like about him, but how they're going to manage all of this, I don't know. We're going to see Ty get out there and see if, his heel will hold up with that fracture that he's had in it. I watched him run 2 days ago over at T-Mobile, and he looked really good to me. He looked like he was fine, so I wasn't surprised that they activated him. But we're going to have to see where it all goes. But I don't see a platoon situation going on with him and Ty or anything like that. They're both right-handed hitters, and I think that Ty will get the bulk of the playing time with his experience. But they're going to have to find a way to get Locklear some playing time. If not, then he probably will go back because you want him to continue to play.
Hey, Mike, for me in the NFL draft, I just look at the draftees and go, I don't care if they're drafted in the first round. They may not work out. You don't know. It's like the bird in the hand. I know the veterans can play. I don't know if these rookies, there's all kinds of things that could happen to them. How do you look at this farm system, and they have one of the better farm systems in the league, and you got guys like Harry Ford, Cole Young, Colt Emerson. I mean, do you look at those guys as, okay, they're there to be traded for bats or pitchers that we know can make it in the league, or is it, that you want to see those guys develop?
To me, it's a fairly simple process overall. The way I look at it is those guys are there to help the big league club. Maybe it's by coming up and playing. We just talked about Locklear. Maybe it's by a trade that gets you what you really need. I think that you have to look at the depth of the organization. As you mentioned, they're doing really well right now. You have to look at positions and see how many guys you have at a certain position, and does it make sense for you to trade one of them for a bat or a pitcher or somebody in the bullpen? But they're there to help your big league club, and how that happens, it's different every year. And I'm sure you have a certain amount of guys, a couple of guys down there that you're not going to let anybody touch, but everybody else, I think, is there to help your big league club. And, you look at it and what you have at your club, and, there's certain guys that are going to be here for a period of time, and maybe somebody gets stuck behind them at the minor league level, and that's a guy that you're willing to move because other people have interest in him. But whatever you have to do to make your big league club better, and especially now with the pitching that the Mariners have, I think you have to look at all that and listen to whatever anybody has to say.
Mike, what's your impression of Mitch Garver behind the plate? We've seen that, as we just mentioned. Zebby Zavala's been DFA'd, so effectively Garver is now your backup catcher, and it feels like he's kind of been George Kirby's, personal catcher, if you will. He's caught him 4 times. I don't know that it's translated to his offense the way they had hoped. He's hitting .205 for the month of June. He does have a good on base because he walks, but still waiting for that bat to turn into something. What are you seeing from him, if anything at all, that's different at the plate based on him being behind the plate as a catcher?
Well, I think, first of all, defensively, I think he's looked really good. And you mentioned it, him going out and catching George. George is somebody that a lot of catchers would like to catch just because he's in the strike zone and with all of his pitches, and he's a little bit easier to catch. But I think that Garver's done a really nice job behind the plate, so I'm not concerned about that. In fact, he's actually surprised me a little bit. Just the way that he's taken things over from not really getting a lot of time at all in spring training other than bullpen work. He's a veteran guy. He's been around. He knows what he's doing back there, so that part of it's good. And he certainly knows and takes the scouting reports really serious, so everybody can get on the same page with him. I don't think that's a problem. But I think offensively, you mentioned the walks. I think that's something, and I talked to him about that, and he thought it was really important that he starts taking the walks, shrinking up the strike zone a little bit more, and I think we're starting to see him take steps forward. He had a really good road trip the last time we were out. I thought that on the homestand he did some things that were pretty good, especially hitting the ball the other way, which we hadn't seen up to this point. And I think he's trending in the right direction because he's somebody that can certainly help them as far as the power numbers go. And you guys were talking about the strikeouts earlier. He's somebody that can help that out if he's taking his walks and swinging at pitches in the zone.
Do you think he's a guy that benefits greatly? And have you seen this before where a guy is, when he's playing, he's out there, he's involved, that he's better at the plate?
I think that what you want to do is you want to contribute. And if the only thing that you're contributing at is your bat, I think that's really difficult. I'll go all the way back. The best in the business that's ever done it is Edgar Martinez. And I can remember when Lou talked to Edgar, I didn't know what was going on at the time, but they talked to Edgar about not playing third anymore because how valuable his bat was, and he kept getting injured, and that he was going to be the DH. And Edgar fought it. He didn't want to do that. And I think it's because of that reason. It's everything is on what you do offensively. Now, eventually, he figured it all out. And his different for everybody, and it's something that Garver's even talked about as far as how do you go about this and feel like you're contributing and not putting so much pressure on your bat because that's all that you're doing. Edgar figured it out. He didn't want it to begin with, but he turned out to be one of the best ever at it. And, for Mitch, he's basically what he said is, I've caught my entire life. I've been at one of the positions that's most critical, and it just takes your mind off of a lot of different things because the hardest thing about DHing, if you're going to do it regular, not on a given day, like Haniger is doing now, I think that's a little bit easier, but you having that bat in the first inning, and then you got to sit there and think about it for the next 2 or 3 innings before you go up there again. And I think at times your mind can put you in different directions, and it's not a real healthy place. And I think as long as you're playing a position, you can still go 0 for 4, but you've done something defensively to help your team. And I think that's what they're trying to get out of Mitch.
Mike, what's the difference in Julio Rodriguez that you've noticed, if anything? Over his last 22 games, he's hitting .305, scored 17 runs, a double, 5 home runs, 15 runs driven in, 7 walks, 7 stolen bases. That looks like Julio. That looks like what everybody anticipated, everybody expected over these last 22 games. Does he look freer up there? Does he look like he's changed his approach at all? What are you seeing with him?
I don't think he's necessarily changed his approach. I haven't really seen that as much as it's more of his pitch selections that he's swinging at. Now, he's still going to chase. I think he's always going to be that way because he's just so talented. He feels that, I think, at times that he can hit anything and he wants to hit. But if he gets him in the strike zone, that's the beginning of it all. And started off with, a few more walks. But more importantly, he was starting to get base hits, and I think his confidence started to rise from there. And now we're starting to see him hit the ball in the air to the pull side. And when he gets to that point, which is what we saw last year, especially in the second half, you got a superstar in your hands, and I think he's trending that way. But we'll see. I like the homestand that he had and the way that he went about his business. Can he keep it locked in, for the rest of the way? We'll see. But he's just so talented. I like the way that he's trending right now, especially the decisions he's making at the plate.
What about Cal? Where would you like to see him at the end of the year? He's my favorite player. Bob knows this. I talk about Cal all the time. But, you look at his average, okay, that's fine. But you mentioned the home runs. I mean, if you're going to strike out at that rate, he's tied for 30th. Where would you like to see him at the end of the year? I mean, he's obviously really important to the starting rotation and all that and the bullpen guys. But, as far as like his numbers, where would you like to see him at the end of the year where it would be a successful year for him?
I think that as long as he ends up in that range where he has the last couple of years, where he's in upper 20s, maybe 30 home runs, I think that's what you're looking for with him. I think the hard part with Cal is because he plays every day, and he'll play day games after night games, and he does not want to come out of the lineup. We don't know exactly how he feels every day and how beat up he is, and he's trying to make it work. The one thing that is encouraging to me is to watch him late in games and when everything is tuned up and everything's on the line, and he's been terrific in those late game situations. But I'm not going to worry about his batting average as long as he's hitting the ball out of the ballpark and managing that pitching staff. He's so valuable to this team, and not just the pitchers either, but even the rest of the teammates that he has. They all look towards Cal, and he's a leader here because of the things I just talked about, his willingness to go out and want to go out and play every day regardless of how he's feeling.
He is Mike Blowers with us each and every week talking baseball. Always a fun conversation. Mike, as always, great stuff. We appreciate it. Have fun on the road trip, and hopefully we're talking about an even bigger lead in the division when you get back home.
Yeah, I would like that. We'll see you guys in about a week and a half.
There you go. There's Mike Blowers. And I misspoke, Dave. They're actually 9 games ahead of the Rangers and Astros because the Rangers lost. They've now lost 4 in a row, 7 of 10. And they've moved into a tie with the Astros at 9 games behind the Seattle Mariners. So even better by a half.
Yeah.
Our thanks to Mike Blowers. If you missed any of that conversation, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page at seattlesports.com after the show. Let's take 2.
The Mariners have activated Ty France off the 10-day IL, and Sebi Zavala was designated for assignment.
Least surprising thing ever. He was hardly playing at all, especially since Garver had been sort of instituted as the backup catcher and George Kirby's personal catcher, whatever you want to call it. But they seem to like what he does defensively back there. He likes catching Kirby, and Zavala really had no role on the team after that.
Yeah. What do you make of Ty France coming back? I mean, you look at that game. I'm trying to remember when he got hit because he went 2 for 3. Scored a run, had a double. I want to say he got maybe one of those hits after he got hit in the heel. But you look at his June was not great. The rest of the way in June he went 3 for 16. So yeah, I'm kind of, but you look at his average, it's 251. I mean,
yeah,
7 home runs.
He'd had some big moments. And he was, kind of up and down. But we'll see. I mean, Locklear put on a show there, so we'll see what Tide brings to the table.
The Seahawks have announced their NFL training camp dates. Rookies will report on July 17th and veterans on July 23rd, with the first day of practice tentatively scheduled for July 24th.
It's already here, Dave. They're already ready to get going. I can't wait to see this team and what they're going to look like under the watchful eye of Coach McDonald, how different it may be.
Yeah, it's going to be really, everything's going to be new, right? So
everything. Yeah,
I'm looking at it. I get this way every year. I'm like, I'm not ready. Dude, I'm not ready for the NFL season. You ask anybody, it's like, man, but once it gets there, it's so much fun. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting year. Really, really curious to see what I think Mike McDonald his team is going to surprise a lot of people. We've talked a lot about the personnel and who they have, and really good rookie coming in here, and Byron Murphy. So yeah, it's going to be nice. I'm looking forward to the change.
Yeah, it's going to, I think there's very low expectations nationally, as we've talked about, so not a ton of pressure or expectation. We'll see if they can exceed it. All right, that does it for us. I want to thank our guest today, Mike Blowers, for joining us on the program. If you missed any part of today's show, you know what to do. Head to seattlesports.com, click the podcast tab, scroll down to our picture and click on that. Anything you missed is waiting for you right there after the show each and every day. Click subscribe. We're going to talk to you tomorrow right here with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
Get the national perspective on the Mariners.
Swing and a miss and a slider, strike 3.
With Jeff Passan, Tuesday mornings at 8:30.
I don't think that it is unrealistic to believe that they have the talent and the ability to win a championship with this team.
And John Morosi, Thursdays at 5 p.m.
Their DNA remains intact. This is a rotation-dependent team.
We are Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
Hey, Mike Salk here. Get bonus days to save during Window Nation's semi-annual sale now through June 30th. Get 50% off all windows with no interest for 5 years and a bonus 10% savings when you schedule an estimate. Call 866-90NATION or go to windownation.com.
Hey, everyone. Jaden Schwartz for Techline Roofing. If your summer list includes 18 holes and a new roof, give Techline a call and we'll come out for a free inspection. Trust Techline. They shoot from the tips.
Are you looking for a construction loan to build your dream home? Are you a local builder needing a better financing option for your next spec project? Hi, I'm Scott Servais, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Stop wasting time with local banks and credit unions and their endless guidelines. We're the experts for common sense residential construction loans. We lend our own money, we make our own decisions. And if your deal makes sense, we'll get it done fast with flexible terms. For homeowners, we advise you every step of the way with things like budget and timeline, ensuring the completion of your dream home. For builders, Legacy's not only your lender, we'll source your next deal, provide permitting services, and if you're short on equity, we'll invest alongside of you. Legacy Group Capital has lent more than $1 billion, helping over 130 local builders and hundreds of homeowners. We can help you.
Construction loans don't have to be hard. Borrow smart with a common sense construction loan from Legacy Group Capital. Visit LegacyG.com. LegacyG.com.
Well, we were all hoping for good news from the feds, but without any rate cut in sight, Americans are still paying crazy high rates on credit cards and other loans. Don't wait for things to get worse. If you're struggling, act now. Hey, this is Brock Ewart for my friends at Tila Mortgage. Contact Tila for information on their home equity line of credit, or HELOC. With a HELOC, you can consolidate high interest bills into one lower, manageable payment while keeping your current low fixed rate first mortgage. Tila's been helping Washingtonians consolidate debts for over 25 years, and they're experts at purchase and reverse mortgages too. Take control of your finances and improve your monthly cash flow. Don't let debt payments control your life. Call Tila Mortgage today at 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
TILAmortgage.com.
Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Subscribe to the Seattle Sports YouTube page to find new and exclusive content from your favorite shows and personalities daily. Just head to YouTube, search Seattle Sports, and click subscribe.
Tingling and numbness or burning pain in the feet or hands are warning signs of peripheral neuropathy. For years, Sound Pain Solutions has helped thousands using our innovative narcotic-free approach. Now we're excited to introduce our most powerful treatment yet. I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. We've discovered a new bioelectrical treatment that produces remarkable results. Studies show 85% of neuropathy sufferers report a 50% reduction in pain. Our new therapy can reduce pain and regenerate damaged nerves. It's performed by medical providers and naturopathic physicians. It's a breakthrough treatment that has changed the lives of thousands who suffer from nerve pain. At Sound Pain Solutions, all our therapies are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, and narcotic-free. Learn if you qualify for our new neuropathy treatment. Schedule a free consultation by visiting soundpainsolutions.com. soundpainsolutions.com.
I don't want to dig up my yard if I don't have to. That's why I hired O'Neill Plumbing. They're Seattle's trenchless plumbing pros. All rooter, all trenchless, always professional. O'Neill Plumbing, since 1917.
Hey everyone, Tom Nelson for Cressy Door. Since 1952, we've been installing garage doors for your home, building, or dealership. If you need Cressy Door service or a whole new set of doors, visit our friends at Cressy Door. Make your next garage door a Cressy Door.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and if you're getting ready for a fun night out, you know Snoqualmie Casino is just the place to go and have a good time. They got Adam Carolla coming up Saturday, July 13th. You know Adam Carolla, comedian, actor, radio personality, television host, author. Currently hosts the Adam Carolla Show, the Guinness Book of World Records for most downloaded podcast. And beforehand, go to Falls Buffet, back open, serving all your favorites. It is Seattle's closest casino, only 30 minutes from downtown, and online at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest, Snoqualmie Casino.
This is Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
Take every game with you on the go by downloading the Seattle Sports app.
710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma, the home of the Mariners. The Seattle Mariners pregame show is on.
Julio Rodriguez with a line shot, two-run home run with 2 outs.
Mariners pregame is brought to you by the new 2024 Chevy Colorado, Beacon Plumbing, and by Truce Law. Seattle Mariners pregame. The countdown to first pitch is underway.
Here's the stretch and the 1-1 to Seager. Swinging a ground ball to Locklear at first. Charges one-handed. He got it. Steps on the bag and the ball game is over. The Mariners shut out the Rangers 5-0 on this Sunday Father's Day here in Seattle. The Mariners sweep aside the Texas Rangers. They win it this afternoon. A final score of 5-0.
Over 130,000 had fun at T-Mobile Park this Father's Day weekend, and the Mariners enjoying that sweep, but it is back to work today. Now we're going to see how they measure up to the best of the Central. The 9-game road trip starts here in Cleveland with first pitch coming your way in just over an hour. Good afternoon and welcome to the pregame show. Shannon Dreyer coming to you live from the Western Washington Toyota broadcast booth, found here today and the next 3 days at Progressive Field in Cleveland. We have seen all the weather in the last 24 hours. The Mariners, of course, had the off day here yesterday. We saw some very wild thunderstorms and thunder showers, and then the sun came out. I think we saw 90. The humidity is off the charts. And then today, the same thing. In fact, the tarp has been on the field most of the day. It is partially off right now. The grounds crew on the field getting things ready. We're seeing players out on the field for the first time all afternoon. They were not able to get out for any kind of batting practice. Right now, some of the pitchers are going through some of their running drills out in the outfield, but there will be a game. It does look like it's clearing up right now, and they do a good job with the rain because they get a lot of it here. So they are prepared without question. We're looking forward to today's game. Mariners come in a season high 12 games over 500. They are atop the AL West by 9 games over both the Rangers and the Astros. Yep, the Astros caught the Rangers, who lost yesterday on the Mariners' off day. But Mariners enjoy that 9-game lead without question. Over 1 or 2, they'll take it. We do have a little bit of Mariners news as well. Ty France has been activated from the IL to make room on the 26-man roster. Sebi Zavala has been DFA'd. The injury report is brought to you by Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center Proton Therapy. Learn more at fredhutch.org/proton therapy. That is fredhutch.org/proton therapy. So today we're looking forward to seeing Bryce Miller come off a little bit of extra rest, which will be good for him. On the other side, can be a tough one. Tristan McKenzie will be going for the Guardians, who come into the game at 44-25, 5-game lead over the Royals in the top spot in the Central. The Central has been very good this year. Twins 5.5 back, but the Guardians, they have been at the top for most of the season. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lineup that will be facing Tristan McKenzie. This is what we got. At the top is J.P. Crawford at shortstop. Josh Rojas will follow at third. Julio Rodriguez in center. Cal Raleigh will catch and be the cleanup hitter. Ty France at first base. Luke Raley in left field. Mitch Garver at the DH today. Dom Canzone, he's playing just a few miles away from home. We're going to hear from him on the Mariners Clubhouse Insider later in the show. He will be in right field, and making the start at second base and rounding out the 9 is Dylan Moore. As for the other side, it is going to be interesting. The Guardians, you know some of the faces in there, Stephen Kwan, Jose Ramirez, the Naylor brothers. What is interesting about the lineup for the Guardians today, there is only one right-handed hitter in it. Bryce Miller is going to see nearly all lefties coming up today. We'll talk about that as well a little bit later in the show. But we're just getting started here. Plenty of time for all that kind of catches our fancy in this contest that is coming your way in less than an hour. In about 15 minutes, we'll hit the roundtable. We'll talk about the moves of the day and what that means both for the short and long term. On the Mariners Clubhouse Insider, as I mentioned, Dom Canzone. This is where he grew up. This is a team that he watched as a kid. He's going to share his favorite story from this ballpark as a kid, what it was like to walk out on this field for the first time. This is it today. He has not done that before. And who's kind of been most influenced to him since he has been with the Mariners? That'll come up on the Mariners Clubhouse Insider in about 25 minutes. We'll have all the usuals as well. Picks versus Rick. We'll take a look at the rest of baseball. But first things first, Aaron Goldsmith sits down with the skipper. He's going to give us a little bit more on the moves of the day and what we just saw the last few days. That, as we are just getting started on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
At Global Credit Union, members benefit, like free checking, because why pay a fee to spend your own money? Early payday, your paycheck up to 3 days early with direct deposit. And member care, with branches near you and a 24/7, 365 U.S.-based call center where you'll always talk to a real person. Free checking and no monthly maintenance fee only apply to core checking accounts. Other fees may apply. Join us at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, proud partner of Seattle Mariners Radio.
We're live after the Mariners game. Coach, once a base runner's aboard, how do you bring them home?
Well, we're really focused on stealing bases. Fresh steals mean free AM/PM fresh baked cookies and a 12-ounce slim Coca-Cola, plus the chance to win a Mariners VIP experience. That's it. If you need me, I'll be at AM/PM.
AM/PM, too much good stuff.
Proud partner of the Mariners. Only 1,000 deals available per game on the AM/PM app for 24 hours through September 19th. Only at participating AM/PM store while supplies last. VIP experience sweeps, no purchase necessary. See rules at ampm.com/official rules.
And a strikeout number 7 for George Kirby. Absolutely sensational.
A Mariners game at T-Mobile Park is the perfect place for a get-together. Whether it's a small family celebration or a party for your whole company, there's a suite or space perfect for your guests to enjoy 9 innings of great views, food, and drinks. You'll even impress Barbara from accounting. Don't let that stoic appearance fool you. There's a party animal under there. The more people you bring, the more you can save. So to earn your rep as the host with the most, visit Mariners.com.
He is safe at home. Julio stole home.
Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
The next Mariners homestand gets started with 2 can't-miss giveaways as the team takes on the Twins. On June 28th, the Mariners are debuting their first-ever City Connect bobblehead. The first 20,000 fans score a J.P. Crawford Trident bubble. Then on June 29th, the fun continues with Aloha shirts for the first 15,000 fans. Get tickets to both games at Mariners.com.
The countdown to first pitch continues with the Scott Servais Show.
Presented by BECU.
Aaron Goldsmith alongside the skipper, Scott Servais. Game 1 of the road trip. Scott, your team is coming off their second straight 7-1 homestand. Obviously, the play at T-Mobile Park this year has been remarkable. What stood out to you the most during this last homestand?
Pitching, of course. Our pitching was awesome. I think we did a really nice job of doing what we do best, and that's controlling counts. We were ahead in the count. I thought the guys here in the most recent series against the Rangers threw the ball outstanding, and not just our starters, but our bullpen guys have been throwing it really well also. And on top of that, our defense has been what we need it to be. We need to make the plays, and we've been doing it.
Has this been your most challenging bullpen management season in at least a number of years, given the injuries and the availability? It seems like every night there's a lot to process in your bullpen.
There is, and I think that's what makes it fun. It's challenging. You try to be creative, and ultimately it goes back to putting our guys in the best spots for them to have success. And some nights, you're not quite sure, but you're trying to match it up best we can, and I think we've done a really nice job with it so far. The biggest thing is keeping our guys healthy, and we had Mooney was down for a few days. Now he seems to have rebounded. Ryan Stanek's done a really nice job for us. We picked up Mike Bowman, and he's gotten us some big outs. Austin Voth continues to grow in his role, and then, the value of left-handed pitching. We've missed Gabe Spire a little bit, but Sauce has been able to come in and pick us up, and you're going to see Sauce a lot in this series. So you got to use them all. We've been able to do that, and we got to keep them healthy.
News of the day, Ty France activated. That hairline fracture in his heel is okay. He's able to come off the injured list. So you have France and Tyler Locklear on the roster at the same time. How do you envision this playing out?
Well, I didn't tell you. Ty France is going to catch.
Oh,
there you go.
Hey, he looks like a catcher.
Yeah, there you go. So we figured it all out. There, you can run with that one, Aaron. That'll be the next thing that people want to see. But no, I think the biggest thing trying to do, we're going to face some left-handed pitching coming up here. The final game of this series in Cleveland. Then we go to Miami, and right now it's projected they're going to throw 3 left-handed starters against us. So there'll be an opportunity, hopefully, to get Tyler Locklear in there. I think he's played very well since he's been up. But, Ty France was really swinging the bat well before he got hit by the pitch and went out for about 10, 12 days, whatever it's been. So we need Ty to pick it up. Can't have enough good players, Aaron. We'll find spots for them all to play.
When Ty first came over via the trade, didn't he tell you that he could be an emergency catcher?
He has caught. He's caught in simulated games. He's caught in COVID games back at the alternate site, things like that. But that is not something that we're gonna break out here at all. So it'll be Cal and Garv doing the catching.
It's always interesting, fun, pitching-heavy series when these two organizations face each other. I mean, in so many ways, Scott, it does feel like these two orgs just have so many similarities. When you look at the Guardians and you look at the Mariners, what stands out to you the most in terms of how these two franchises kind of they go about building teams somewhat similarly? They've got similar skill sets. What stands out to you the most?
Well, neither of our teams or organizations have been the teams that just jump up to the top of the pay scale, so to speak, on what we're spending on payroll and whatnot. So you have to find ways around it and try to maximize the players you have. I always think Cleveland has done a nice job of that. They typically have a very good bullpen, and they've got an outstanding bullpen this year. So we rely on our pitching, certainly our starting pitching, getting those guys deep into the games. Playing good defense is a keystone for both clubs. We may have a little bit more power. They may have a little bit more speed, but it's just different ways to manufacture runs. But one thing for sure, the games will be close. They typically are when we play the Guardians, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a good challenge for us this series here on the road against a team that's playing very well.
We talk sometimes about what it's like for a pitcher to face a former teammate as a hitter. What's it like to face a former colleague that's now a manager in Stephen Vogt?
Yeah, it's great. I really enjoy Vogt. Got to know him last year very well, and we spent many hours in my office talking about the game and different things that you look at from a manager's seat, which is different from maybe a different seat on the coaching staff. And I knew all along that Vody wanted to manage, and I knew he'd get an opportunity to, and it's worked out great for him. I think the Cleveland is a great fit for a young manager coming in. They're all built out, so to speak. It's a very forward-thinking organization, and I knew Vody would fit in seamlessly over there. But, people always have tendencies, things they believe very strongly and whatnot. But the one thing I feel very strong, I need to get Stephen Vogt thrown out of a game. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. He hasn't been thrown out yet, but I said to him yesterday, when your team's 20 games over 500, you usually don't get thrown out. But that's my goal in this series. I'm going to get Vody tossed.
We'll keep an eye out for needling.
Believe it, it's coming. we were talking about it all day yesterday. But no, he's a great guy, and he's certainly got roots in the Pacific Northwest. So, but I look forward to this series. Again, it becomes down to the guys on the field. The guys in the dugout really don't dictate much on what happens from there.
Scott, as always, appreciate the time.
Thank you, Aaron.
Love that goal. Absolutely respect that goal right there. There's some work. We'll see if it plays out over the next few days. The Scott Servais Show is brought to you by BECU. As a credit union, BECU's co-op business model means better rates and services. Walk in like you own the place, because you do. Tarp still at the edge of the field right now. We are hopeful that this will start on time. The Cleveland grounds crew there are many of them. I mean, it looks like there are at least 30 of them out on the field right now, taking care of everything they need to so the Mariners can get out on the field and continue what has been a good thing for them. Of course, they are a little bit of a different look. You heard Scott touch on that with Aaron Goldsmith right now. We're going to get into that a little bit more and just kind of look at the possibilities with where they are roster-wise right now. That comes up next as the pregame show continues on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
Looking for a quality win this season? Arco and the Mariners are teaming up to give you a win at the pump and the park. When you spend $50 on quality gas at Arco, bring your receipt to T-Mobile Park Guest Services, and you'll get a $10 concessions gift card. That's a quality win on the road and in the stands. Now for a win on the field, Mariners. Take the win at Arco. Gas must be purchased between March 28, 2024 and October 1st, 2024. Valid at participating locations while supplies last. Full details at mariners.com/Arco.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Sign your kids up for the chance to take the field like a big leaguer at T-Mobile Park. The Mariners are hosting a ballpark camp on Tuesday, June 25th, in collaboration with Mariners Training Centers. This co-ed camp is for athletes ages 7 to 17 and will include drills led by professional Mariners Training Center instructors, quick ball games, and so much more. The cost is $225 per athlete, and net proceeds benefit the Mariners Care Foundation. Register your kids today at mariners.com/ballparkcamp.
Since 1934, Hempler's has used only the leanest European pork bellies for its premium bacon made right here in the Pacific Northwest. Slow smoked over natural hardwoods for a rich aroma, savory flavor, and thick gourmet bite. It's no wonder Hempler's is America's leanest bacon and the official bacon of your Seattle Mariners. Hempler's small batch crafted meats.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people, for charting your own path, for choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else, because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU, power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join, federally insured by NCUA.
Ever daydream of catching a game-winning pop fly for the Mariners? Visit Funco headquarters in Everett to enter for your chance to participate in Pop Fly with a Catch, presented by Funco at T-Mobile Park on select dates. If chosen, you'll win 4 tickets to a home Mariners game and a chance to catch fly balls in the outfield. For each pop fly you catch, you could win unique Mariners and Funco Pop prizes. To register, scan the QR code at the Funco store located at 2802 Wetmore Avenue in Everett. Good luck and go Mariners!
You work hard for your money. The Working Families Tax Credit from the Washington State Department of Revenue is an annual state tax credit for Washington workers and families. Those who qualify could receive up to $1,255 back. Eligible people can apply online, through a tax preparer, or on paper. Learn more at workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
Mariners pregame continues with a roundtable.
Presented by Miller Lite.
Welcome back to Progressive Field, where we are getting you ready of Game 1 for the 3-game series against the Guardians. It's time for the roundtable powered by Miller Lite. Shannon Dreyer joined by Rick Riz, Aaron Goldsmith, and Gary Hill. And first of all, guys, was the move today a surprise for any of you?
That Ty was activated so early, or that it was Zavala?
That it was Zavala, that they were going to make that change essentially at catcher.
To me, it's if they could find a way to justify having 2 of the same guy on the roster, right, in Locklear and Ty, then it makes you better, right? I think my sense of it is the Mariners were trying to get to a point where all parties involved felt comfortable enough with Mitch Garver as the backup catcher. Like the backup, not the third, but like the backup catcher, So once they got to that point, then you're trying to maximize every spot on that 26-man roster. That's as simple as that.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised, or probably a lot of people weren't surprised when Garver started catching. And then the second start with Kirby, the third start, the fourth start. Now, where's Sebi Zavala in all this? He was the odd man out. And so you're getting Garver back in there, who caught all his life, and now he's the backup. He's feeling good. You're giving him a day off after he catches, so he's getting his catching strength back. So not surprised that Sebi's gone.
I talked with Mitch Garver just for a few minutes before the game today, and I think there was some curiosity. I mean, the reason he was put behind the plate in the first place was to see if that helped out the offense, and we have seen that. The average has not come up much, but the at-bats have gotten better. He's walked more, and the slugging percentage and the on-base percentage have gone up dramatically since he first started catching on May 29th. But, just his mindset, that's a big part of it. And I asked him earlier a couple of questions. I just kind of started out with, hey, how does this change things for you now that you know that you are going to be on the card as a catcher a little bit?
I think it's along the same lines of what I've been doing, right? It's just more in-game stuff. I've already been catching multiple times a week and staying ready in case there was an emergency or an injury, but now it's just kind of moved to that role where I'm going to be catching probably a little bit more.
And you enjoy the end game, kind of the process, and that you are in the game in between innings when you are not.
Yeah, it's funny, like throughout my whole career, I never put as much emphasis on my catching as I do now. Like, I always used to be a bat first catcher, and now, like, when I'm catching, the hitting is so secondary to me. Like, it just, my bats are what they are. I just kind of like go up there and try to do something, but really my priority is taking care of the pitchers. So for the first time in my career, I feel like that's flipped. It's kind of strange.
What have you kind of learned in that?
I don't know. It's more important to take care of those guys. And it's something I did in the past, but like not to the level that I'm doing now. I just put a lot more emphasis on, trying to be creative with them in between innings, a lot of communication, a lot of, changing up approaches if we need to throughout the game, and just more strategy based than anything.
Yeah, it looks like that little distraction may have helped him.
Well, especially when he put it the way he did. Like, he's not even thinking about his at-bats. It becomes secondary. It's like, yeah, that takes some pressure off. And from that aspect, it seemed like it's worked. It's funny, too. I was thinking about his workload. He's not going to be catching that much more than he is now, really. Since Cal is essentially an everyday catcher who plays a lot. We've seen Garver once a week. We'll probably see him in this series, I would assume, against the lefty, the day game coming up. But it's not like he's going to be taking on a much bigger workload as the backup catcher for Cal Raleigh.
But he can tell himself, hey, I'm a catcher.
That's
again.
right. That's right. That's the thing. You get, and keeping him healthy is easier too when he's not going to be a halftime guy. He's going to be basically doing what he's doing. So it may end up being the best of all worlds.
And he's also really helped out George Kirby. In those 4 starts, the Mariners are 4-0 in those starts by George with an ERA of under 2. So, he's gotten to know George very well. Of course, he, caught him at spring training, but it's been a really good mix. If you're moving him into that backup role, doing it with the right guy who throws strikes, and it's really worked out for Mitch and for George Kirby.
George had a really interesting comment the first or the second time he called him, and he said that he can get after me, basically. Yeah. George has ways that he likes to do things, but Mitch, I talked to him about that. He said, there are 2 of us that are in this. And he told George that. That was the first thing I told him. We're going to have back and forth on this. And George likes to kind of closet himself away during the game. And Mitch, nope, we're going to talk. It might just be for a minute, but he only did that once, and that was because they were in Oakland. That was a good place to say there's nowhere to go there. But, just an interesting relationship there, and I assume we will see him catch some others as time goes on. But, back to the Locklear, it's not an easy fit with him right now, and it's not forever. And so it's interesting that you can go down to the minor leagues, get guys to help with an injury, but now they're looking at this and getting help with the handedness in a series that's coming up. So how do you think they're going to use him? How much do you think we will see Locklear?
Well, it sounds like the emphasis is in particular the upcoming series against Miami and a lot of lefties. He has impressed, right? I mean, Locklear has done some really nice things offensively. I've never seen someone more eager to swing a bat. It's almost like he knew, oh, man, I just got told that Ty France is healing up pretty quickly. Let's get my accent. He's a super aggressive hitter. He looks the part. He's played a very good first base, which I know is not near the top of the list of things you're looking for, but it's part. We all know that's part of the ingredient list for a guy. And he obviously has tremendous power. So if they feel like they can work him in, then they're going to work him in. And for an offense that's obviously still looking for some consistency, if they feel like he can give it to them, you can understand a little bit of reason why. That's a great sign for Locklear.
Yeah, when Garver catches, it opens up a spot. When he takes the day off after catching, opens up a spot. Outside of that, I think it's going to be really tricky, but, Yeah,
because one trend that has been obvious is that after Garver catches,
he has the day off.
Yeah. And will that continue forever? Was that just a break-in period? We don't know.
He looks better since he's been catching, and that might be because he's hitting. I think he was really wearing it right, for a while.
100%.
Which, and
Garver does the 2 things that this offense has to do. He walks and he homers.
Yep.
And that's if this offense needed anything, it's walks and homers. Are they going to? There's not a magic pill that they can take that's going to keep them from striking out. Can they strike out a little bit less? Yeah, they can strike out a little bit less, but they're not going to go to the middle of the pack for the back half of the season. So up the walks, up the homers, he allows you to do both.
What's this magic pill you speak of?
Yeah, I know. I know you would love one of those, Gary.
And back to Tyler Locklear, I love what this kid's done. He's not down in the minor leagues. He's been able to stay here because he's done everything right, swinging the bat. Change up from Crochet, hits it out of the ballpark. Slider from Leclerc, hits it out of the ballpark. Helped win a ball game with his defense at first base the other day on that final out.
2 ball games with the defense. Yes, absolutely. Been so fun to watch. You know who else can hit some homers and walks a lot, doesn't strike out as much? Dom Canzone. He's coming up next on The Insider. He's made some changes lately. He's going to talk about that as well as being in this ballpark. He grew up not too far from here. Good conversation with Dom Canzone coming up next. The roundtable is powered by Miller Lite. Miller Lite is the first and original light beer with more taste and only 96 calories. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
For tank and tankless hot water heaters, for clogged drains, for leaky faucets, for toilets that won't flush. Stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical is your trusted source to solve all your plumbing needs. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
Swinomish Casino and Lodge is the perfect destination for your next getaway. Wake up to stunning views of Padilla Bay. Head to the casino floor for exciting slots and table games. Relax and recharge by cozying up in the lodge. And end your day savoring the delicious flavors of the Pacific Northwest at the award-winning 13 Moons. Come stay and play at Swinomish Casino and Lodge, where you can explore it all Must be 18 to play.
When you're on the pitch clock and don't have time for your favorite Seattle sports shows, listen to the podcasts on demand. How about that? Unbelievable. Who would have thought? Every hour, every interview, every look behind the scenes.
Scott Servais is with us.
The expectations are very high. I love all of that.
It is clear it was the right decision to keep your pitching staff as whole as possible.
Find us on SeattleSports.com, the Seattle Sports app, or wherever you get podcasts.
My eyes have been opened. What can I tell you?
Never miss a minute of Seattle sports, the home of the Mariners.
Toyota has more hybrid EVs than anyone else, which makes them electrified diversified. Electrify your summer in the adventurous RAV4 Hybrid. Now through July 1st, choose 4.75 APR financing on a new 2024 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid with approved credit through TFS. Excludes RAV4 Prime. Or you can get a great lease deal on RAV4. A dealer doc fee of up to $200 may be added. Get details at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Dave often said, it's Grand Salami time. Thank you, Dave. He whet our appetites, but he never told us where to get the Grand Salami sandwich. In honor of Dave, Blazing Bagels is now serving the Grand Salami sandwich on our homemade rye bread, and it's a home run. Go Seattle and go eat a bagel.
Heard about McClendon Hardware's installation services? For nearly 20 years, Puget Sound homeowners have counted on McClendon Home Services. Their licensed, bonded, and insured professionals do it all, from installing decks and garage doors to water heaters and more. This month, McClendon Home Services is offering 5 energy-efficient Milgard Styline V250 windows with installation for just $25.99. Now's the time to upgrade and save. Trust McClendon Home Services. Call 888-404-4647.
Rick Riz here for the Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington's Improve Your Play program. Many of our local youth sports teams need help with field enhancements, training, and equipment. Local Pella owners Keith Dashafy and Luke Wilson are stepping up to donate $5,000 to 2 deserving teams. We need your help finding them. Head to seattlesports.com/play to nominate a deserving team in need. Let's help our local youth improve their play this year with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Contest and rules at seattlesports.com/play.
For over 45 years, Pacific Office Automation has been solving problems for business owners. However, the needs of our customers and potential customers have changed dramatically over the years, so we've changed too. If you run a business and want to find out how Pacific Office Automation can help improve your business processes and costs, call us today to request a free workflow audit. Whether it's managed print services, IT services, or data security, we're here to help. PacificOffice.com. Problem solved.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues. This season, spring into adventure together in the Chevy of your choice.
See your Northwest Chevy dealer.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. This is Mariners Pregame and the inside perspective. Here's Shannon Dreyer with a Mariners Clubhouse Insider.
We all had good off days yesterday, but Dom Canzone probably one of the best. He got to go home.
It was just special being able to spend time with friends, family, my dog. Just kind of grilled out for everybody yesterday. Had a good time catching up, and awesome to just have an off day here.
Now, do you man the grill, or did somebody else do that?
My buddy from Ohio State, he made the burgers, and I made the steaks.
Oh, okay.
A little bit of teamwork.
All right, what's the key to a good steak on the grill?
Have a thermometer ready, and so you don't have to really trial and error. It's pretty simple once you get it to 130. Take that thing off and make sure both sides are seared pretty good. And I think I did a pretty good job. So maybe my buddies could tell you otherwise, but it looked pretty good.
All right, that's a valuable skill to have. Very good. Okay, so you are here today, and you said you've got a lot of people coming. Do you think you're going to hear them during the game?
Yeah, most of my buddies that I play with at OSU said they're already going to heckle me in right field, so I'll definitely hear them. I'm sure they'll have a couple beverages, so I'm sure they'll have a good time. But yeah, it'll be fun.
Okay, this is your first time here on the field. What was that like stepping out there?
It was special, especially just never been able to do it till now. So, yeah, it's always just been a beautiful ballpark. They've made a lot of great renovations, and always hold close to my heart.
What's your best memory from a game here?
I was actually at Game 7 of the World Series, so that was, even though it didn't pull it out, it was an awesome day. The Rajai Davis home run. I was up a little bit up the first base side, so it was an awesome view.
That's one of my, it's kind of storied. I think if you think about it, when you go down to the bottom, where the weight room, I think that's where the Cubs had their talk during the rain delay.
Just a lot of great history here. So, I mean, it was a special day.
Well, I'm jealous you were there. I would have loved to have been. I was on the other side, but I would have loved to have been at that game. Let's talk about your baseball. You come back from the IL, and I think balance comes to mind when I think of what you're doing at the plate right now. What has been working for you, both in your approach and your swing?
Kind of just getting my timing down. I switched a little bit to a instead of a big leg kick, I've been more a little more of a toe tap and more centered towards the ground. So haven't been off balance as much lately, and I think it's led to some better swing decisions. And your swing can always feel good, bad, or whatever, but if you're not making good swing decisions, you're not going to have good results.
When did you make that switch, and who helped you with that?
I've talked to JD about it numerous times and kind of just never was able to commit to it because I've had the leg kick for so long. So I think we just wanted to commit to it because I was struggling a little bit with the leg kick coming off the IL with the timing and stuff. So this kind of just simplified it and go with this for now.
And you feel comfortable with it. It hasn't been that long, but it looks like there are results.
Yeah, I've tried it in spring training in years past and stuff and kind of just messed with it just in case for, like, a perfect example, kind of coming off the IL. It's, again, tough to get your timing. So something is kind of having something like a backup plan type of deal is nice to kind of have in the bag.
Yeah, it's always good to, a pitcher might move a step to the left or right on the rubber. A hitter, it usually comes down to the legs, it seems.
Yeah, exactly. Just something like a minor change like that, just to feel a little bit more comfortable and confident up there is big.
Love what you're doing. You seem like you're kind of getting back to don't strike out a ton. You're walking a bunch right now. What does that, do they go hand in hand?
Yeah, again, just back to the swing decisions and trying to control the zone as much as possible. Just kind of keeping the head centered and not moving a ton is definitely part of that. So hopefully just continue to make good swing decisions.
What do you see as a whole as an offense? We've seen the team score early lately, which has been good. We've seen traffic through multiple innings, maybe not always the runs. But what have you seen as a team?
Just the aggressiveness towards the heater has been the biggest thing. Just whatever we're looking for, just making sure we're aggressive towards that and sticking to a plan. I think that's been the biggest part is going towards our strengths and not so much what the pitcher's going to do to us is try to do what we do well and stop worrying about kind of what the pitcher does well.
That's a little bit of shift right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it works as a whole as a team. What does it kind of do to reinforce it when you see up and down the lineup guys are doing that?
Yeah, no, definitely reassuring. And then, again, it's harder to pitch when guys are on base. There's more stress on the pitcher. So the more guys you can get on base, the more stress you're going to put on them. The quicker you get the starter out of the game, the quicker you can get to the bullpen. So it kind of all just trickles down.
Getting used to some different kind of configurations in the outfield and whatnot. It's one of the neat things when you look at this team is not many teams use the entire roster. You guys use the entire roster. What is the key to that in knowing that the majority of the guys, you might not be playing every day. You're all playing a lot. It's not every day. What's the key to making that work?
Just believing in one another is the biggest part, I think, and just having confidence that the guy behind you has a good, favorable matchup and understanding that even though if you don't get on base, you're making a productive out. Great example is just Rojas yesterday or 2 days ago with that long at bat. He didn't get the result he might have wanted, but you get 14 pitches out of the guy, and he's out of the game pretty soon after that and get to the bullpen. So it was little stuff like that is so big, and just being able to trust each other.
Who's been most, even dating back to last year on this team player-wise, who's been most helpful or influential with you?
I kind of go back to when I first got traded. Cal was definitely the guy that helped me a lot, kind of just get my bearings, and it was kind of a whirlwind for me getting traded and barely being up in the major league. So he kind of helped me, not even just on the field, but with like housing and stuff, little stuff like that I don't have to worry about. So that was the guy that I really appreciated, kind of helping me through kind of not a tough time, but a big change.
What's kind of a piece of advice he's given to you about being at the field or the game?
We just kind of see how he goes about the day. I mean, catching brings a lot of responsibility, so you kind of just see how he handles it. He's always in the training room getting stuff done, whatever he needs. So just learn how to be a professional, I'd say, is the biggest thing.
I talked with him this spring, and I asked him, what's your favorite part of the baseball day? And he said all of it. He said he has checks. He checks in with himself throughout different parts of the day and everything that he does. What do you see in that? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, no, and I've talked to even Byrne about this a lot, is just trying to enjoy each day and not view it so much as a task. Is like, you got to love the work to be here every single day. So it can get tedious, obviously, but you got to love it and you got to want to do it every single day.
And I think the way you guys are playing and the wins that are going up, it's making it a little bit easier.
That definitely makes it a little easier when the results always help, and winning solves everything. But yeah, even when it's not going good, even like at the beginning of the season we weren't hitting that well, Hanny was a big guy, and that kind of helped us along the way. Just like, hey, we're still in first place. We think we can do better, obviously, offensively, but we're in first place. We're doing well. So that's like little stuff like that from a veteran can go a long way.
That was Dom Canzone with a little look inside of that Mariners clubhouse. That indeed was the Mariners Clubhouse Insider. The Mariners pregame show is brought to you by Muckleshoot Casino and Resort. Bigger, better, the best in the Northwest.
Baseball fans, Muckleshoot Casino Resort is always a home run. With the best games, the best restaurants, and the best rooms and luxury suites. Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Bigger, better, and still the best in the Northwest.
Muckleshoot. When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Fred Meyer, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Fred Meyer worth it every time. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
What's better than a Tuesday? Well, pretty much everything. But now KFC has $10 Tuesdays, which means you can get 8 hot, juicy drums and thighs for just $10. Son of a bucket, that's a good deal. It's also a pretty simple one, so we've got time to repeat it again. $10, 8 drums and thighs from Kentucky Fried Chicken on Tuesdays. It's $10 every Tuesday at KFC. $10 Tuesdays. Okay, I think you get it. It's finger-licking good. Prices and participation may vary. Tax, tip, and fees extra.
Free is key during Craftsman Days at Lowe's. Right now, get one free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select Battery 2-pack. Plus, get your choice of a V20 drill or impact driver kit for $69. Don't miss your chance to save on the high-quality, high-performance tools you need during Craftsman Days. Because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 6/19. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
I call myself a confident backseat driver. Mom, brakes, please.
Gotcha.
But I'm less confident in the economy.
Same here, buddy.
Thankfully, Les Schwab Tires helps make sure that our safety never takes a backseat, even when we're watching our wallets.
Roll into summer. Save up to $200 instantly on a wide selection of tires and wheels. Les Schwab Tires. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. Details at leschwab.com/sale.
At the UPS Store, we know this upcoming holiday is when things can get busy for small business owners.
Exactly. My to-do list and I don't take days off.
That's why you can count on us to be open and ready to help with every small business need, whether it's packing and shipping or if it's just to check your mailbox.
That's almost everything on my to-do list. My list and I can take the day off.
Your local, the everything to help you be unstoppable store. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. The UPS Store locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
The idea of owning a home felt like a pipe dream.
That's BECU member Leandra talking about her home buying experience.
So we went to BECU where I met our mortgage advisor, Lauren, and she was like, this is what we're gonna do. This is how you buy a home.
As a not-for-profit credit union, BECU helps members find the right home loan to meet their needs. Learn more at becu.org/home loans. BECU, power in people. Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS ID 490518. Members were compensated for participation.
Now, your Star Rentals Sports Desk update.
The Astros have placed Justin Verlander on the 15-day IL with neck discomfort that Verlander says has been bothering him for a few weeks. To take his place on the roster, Nick Hernandez, whose contract was purchased from the Padres just 2 weeks ago, will take the roster spot. The Astros are very short on starting pitching. This update is brought to you by Star Rentals, the preferred supplier to the West contractors. Find one of their 18 Pacific Northwest locations at starrentals.com.
You're listening to Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
Tarp is off the field. The pitchers, the starters, they are out on the field going through their warm-up routines, or at least the Mariners. Bryce Miller is out there. Don't see Tristan McKenzie as of yet. Somebody might want to go tap him on the shoulder and say, hey, but it's time to go. Let's go, buddy. This catcher's walking out there. Okay. Yes, there will be baseball. Just want to make sure they don't know something we don't know at this point. Something we don't know is who Rick is going to pick to click today. Picks versus Rick is brought to you by Beacon Plumbing and Heating and Electrical. Rick, who have you got your eye on?
Shannon, really enjoyed your interview with Dom Canzone. He's back home here in Cleveland, grew up here, and he's going to hit a home run. One of his buddies from his teammates from Ohio State is going to catch the home run out there in right field. So he's home. He's excited. He got a lot of family and friends here, and Dom is going to hit his 7th home run of the year.
You know what I love about that interview? He gives examples. He's like, for example.
For example.
Josh Rojas did this.
I love him talking about the steaks, though.
You know, of course.
That
everybody likes a good steak conversation.
Yeah. Sounds like he knows what's
except for Gary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know me.
A resident squirrel. Yeah. All right. Do we have a fan? Do we have an expert?
No, I think I'm picking because I feel like there is a natural player to pick.
Okay.
Since Canzone's off the board, it's got to be Luke Raley.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's back in Ohio. So Luke Raley's going to home run this one. It's going to be super fun, neat.
Yeah, not one, but 2 Ohioans. Is that right?
I don't know. That doesn't sound right, but maybe. I don't know.
Ohioans. Whatever.
Just brings me back to the Michigander. That was one of my all-time favorites. You know who said that. All right. That was Picks versus Rick from Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. When plumbing problems throw you a curve, call a plumber who bats 1,000. Beacon Plumbing, your home run call 24/7. Stop freaking, call Beacon 1-800-FREAKIN. When we come back, we are going to check out what's going on around the rest of the game, as well as take a quick look at the starters. That as the pregame show continues on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
Toyota has more hybrid EVs than anyone else, which makes them electrified diversified. Electrify your summer in a family-size Highlander hybrid. Now through July 1st, get any new 2024 Highlander hybrid with 5.75 APR financing, or get up to $1,000 APR cash on the new Grand Highlander, depending on model, when financed with approved credit through TFS. A dealer doc fee of up to $200 may be added. Get details at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, Rick Riz here. Do you need a new roof but aren't sure who you can trust? Call 3 Tree Roofing. A proud family-owned business, 3 Tree Roofing brings meticulous attention to detail to every roofing project. From your initial phone call to your free on-site estimate to the installation itself, you'll appreciate our outstanding value and unmatched craftsmanship. So call 3 Tree Roofing at 206-312-ROOF for a free roof replacement quote. That's 206-312-ROOF. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Hey fans, summer is here in full swing. When allergies, sunburns, or injuries get in the way, Optum Care Washington is your go-to for healthier care. Make an in-person appointment at over 45 locations and get on-demand care online 7 days a week. Optum Care Washington offers highly rated primary and specialty care, from pediatrics and ENT to sports medicine and surgery. Don't let summer symptoms change your plans. Optum is here for you with healthier care for a happier summer. Visit Optum2024.com to learn more and get care now.
The chance of finding Bigfoot in the wild is slim. The chance of winning a Miller Lite varsity-style jacket while enjoying a great-tasting 96-calorie beer? Slightly better. Visit MillerLite.com/Bigfoot to enter. No purchase necessary. Starts 4/9/2024. Ends 8/30/2024. Residents of Alaska, Idaho, Oregon, Washington, 21+. Official rules at MillerLite.com/Bigfoot for free entry method, odds, and restrictions. Sponsor Molson Coors Beverage Company USA, LLC, 250 South Wacker Drive, Chicago, Illinois, USA, 60606.
When you're on the pitch clock and don't have time for your favorite Seattle sports shows, listen to the podcasts on demand. How about that? Unbelievable. Who would have thought? Every hour, every interview, every look behind the scenes.
Scott Servais is with us. The expectations are very high. I love all of that.
It is clear it was the right decision to keep your pitching staff as whole as possible.
Find us on SeattleSports.com, the Seattle Sports app, or wherever you get podcasts.
My eyes have been opened. What can I tell you?
Never miss a minute of Seattle sports, the home of the Mariners.
Looking for a great night out? Snoqualmie Casino's just the place to go to unwind and have some fun. It's Mike Salk here. Only 30 minutes from Seattle, Snoqualmie Casino's got it all. Lots of exciting table games, tons of slots, sports, restaurants, entertainment, plus the views, too. Come check out the breathtaking views of the Snoqualmie Valley and Mount Si. So no matter if it's checking out sports with your buddies or a date night, make sure you're checking out Snoqualmie Casino. Go to snocasino.com for all the details. It is Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino. Please game responsibly.
You gotta love baseball season. But when it comes to your windows, you don't want any curveballs. Rick Riz here, reminding you to trust your clubhouse with locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Experience the difference with high-quality products, expert installation, and top-notch customer service. It's always a home run with Pella. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Just go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
GMC continues its commitment to professional-grade engineering in the Sierra Truck Series, like offering the world's first available 6-function multi-pro tailgate on Sierra. GMC Sierra 1500, designed for pickup excellence. Or get behind the wheel of the GMC Sierra Heavy Duty with an available Allison 10-speed transmission. The Sierra Heavy Duty pickup takes technology and safety to the next level. We are professional grade. GMC. Visit your Northwest GMC dealers for a test drive today.
You're listening to Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
Welcome back to Progressive Field here in Cleveland. Skies, it's cloudy, but it looks like the weather report said we should be good throughout the game. We shall see. There, Dom Canzone was, he declined to give a weather update for me. He should know how it works around here. He was claiming there was lake effect rain. We know about lake effect snow. I don't know about the rain, but we are hopeful that this game will not be interrupted. As for what is going on around the rest of the league, time now for the Chevy Track scoreboard. Bigger, better, and built for the Northwest. The 2024 Trax offers 5 great trims and a starting price of just $21,495. This is what we got. Just underway right now. Cardinals up 2-0 on the Marlins, who the Mariners will see on the weekend. It is other games that are in warm-ups right now, and it looks like nothing early. So Mariners will be among the first to go. The Rangers will be entertaining the Mets in Arlington, and the Astros are in Chicago to take on the White Sox. And if you missed it with the off day, if you weren't keeping track, the Astros have caught the Rangers. Both teams are 9 games behind the Mariners right now. As for what is coming up next, Bryce Miller on the hill. He's coming off 7 scoreless innings against the White Sox. Cleveland has the ability to run out a nearly all lefty lineup, and they're doing that today with just one right-hander in the lineup. David Fry, the DH, the one and only true righty. A couple of splits in there, but everybody else left or split. So Bryce Miller is going to see a lot of lefties. He's had mixed success against the lefties. Last year, they were a problem. He, of course, has added the splitter, and now is having a little bit more success. They're only hitting 178 against him, but 12 of the home runs or 9 of the 12 home runs that Bryce has given up this year have been to lefties. So the long ball has been the problem with the lefties. That will be the key for him today. On the other side, Tristan McKenzie can mix it up. Very good curve and slider. So Mariners are sitting on the fastball right now. You heard what Dom Canzone said. They're more focused on that than ever before. They're just not going to see as many of them, I think, today. What's on Tap is powered by Miller Lite. Fans, it's almost game time, and game time is Miller time. Shed the day, grab your friends, and crack open an ice-cold Miller Lite. Coming up next, Aaron and Gary take a look at the schedule, the records, and something of very, 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 very significance in this series. You thought it was something big in the last series against the Rangers. Perhaps something even better, bigger, and better for that matter, in this one. That comes up next as the pregame show continues on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
When the hot water needs to be hot, when the drain needs to drain, when the toilet needs to flush, you need to do two things. Stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. On call and there when you need them most. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues. This season, spring into adventure together in the Chevy of your choice.
See your Northwest Chevy dealer.
This month at Car Toys, it's all about Alpine. Find exclusive deals on receivers, speakers, amps, and more for a limited time. Choose from select Alpine Apple CarPlay Android auto receivers from $299 and get a $100 instant installation credit plus free speakers. Take up to 20% off Alpine speakers and subs. Save up to $150 on Alpine base packages starting at $239. Love what you drive at a store near you or cartoys.com.
Car Toys, a better way to go.
Over 13,000 people in the Seattle area are homeless. Kenneth is one of many who found a new life through Seattle's Union Gospel Mission.
After 3 times in prison and many times in jail and different treatment centers, God brought me to the mission. I graduated from the program, earned a certificate in chemical dependency and a bachelor's degree. Helping others get sober is what God put in front of me to do.
And grace will lead me home.
To hear more, volunteer, or donate, visit ugm.org.
Hi, Mariners fans. This is Dan Wilson on behalf of Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. Over the years, I made a lot of throws to second, but picking off runners put a lot of pressure on my throwing shoulder. Now that I'm focused on coaching and spending time with my family, I keep on top of my stretching and warm-up routines, and I check in with my orthopedic specialist when things don't feel quite right. If shoulder or any joint pain is keeping you out of the game, talk with an orthopedic specialist. Learn more at vmfh.org.
Searching for a divorce attorney who doesn't play games? Terrified by the word divorce? Consider a collaborative divorce with Truce Law.
It was critical that both of us got along after the divorce because of our children. The damage that could happen to a relationship during a divorce could make life extremely difficult for the kids. In the end, it was the best for both of our households and our children.
Sometimes the best way to win is to call a truce with Truce Law. TruceLaw.com.
Jim Zorn here for All City Fence. I've learned early on that All City Fence brings real value to every project. And to me, value is more than just fair pricing. Things like safety and security, quality products fabricated, built, and installed by talented craftspeople that take pride in their work. Everyone at All City Fence draws on their experience, talents, and work ethic. For more than 70 years, All City Fence, allcityfence.com.
Swinomish Casino and Lodge is the perfect place for your next Pacific Northwest getaway. Cozy up in the lodge, enjoy a delicious meal at 13 noons, or head to the casino floor for exciting games. Come stay and play at Swinomish Casino and Lodge. Must be 18 to play.
Michael Subaru of Bellevue has a motto, for the life you live. It's a reminder that we have the Subaru that fits your life. It also includes making your experience at Michael's as easy as possible. We have over 400 vehicles to choose from, more than 100 employees committed to service at the store and in our local community. Even 60 loaner vehicles to make sure service appointments aren't disrupting your day-to-day. All of this backed by a name you can trust. Michael Subaru of Bellevue, for the life you live.
You're listening to Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
Welcome back to Cleveland. It's the Mariners pregame show. Gary Hill alongside Aaron Goldsmith. Okay, Aaron, do we want to take this conversation to the next level? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
This is coming in a little too hot and heavy for my liking.
Okay.
Gary, but I will, for the sake of the segment and the listening population, I will play along.
Okay. Here's the thing, and let me remind people about the Major League Baseball playoffs. Because what people should keep in mind is when you talk about the first 3 seeds, the first 2 seeds in particular in the playoffs get a bye in the first round. It's not by best overall records, it's by best record for division winners. So right now, the Yankees in the East has the 1 seed. The Cleveland Guardians have the 2 seed, and right behind them, the Seattle Mariners have the 3 seed. Now, I know it's mid-June, but this is the last time these two teams are going to play one another this year. And I thought it's just something to think about as these teams square off and we think about, hey, the Mariners have an 8.5-game lead right now coming off the series win against the Texas Rangers. I feel like this is actually a conversation we can have given the teams are playing one another.
Well, first of all, Gary, I don't mean to correct you, but they have a 9-game lead. Gary, they have a 9-game lead.
That's true.
Because the Rangers had to have their catcher throw 2 innings last night. But I see your point overall. I felt this way when the Mariners, I think they were playing the Blue Jays earlier this year. And like it feels like the Mariners and the Blue Jays in mid-September. Well, yes, they've gone in separate directions, right? But I feel like there have been many a September where they've been looking at one another.
Yes.
Right, for wild card implications.
Yes.
And at that point, it was like, hey, I know it's early, but don't take this series against the Blue Jays lightly for head-to-head purposes. So I'm with you, man. I think it's so easy to not think about those things until it's like in high school when you're like, oh, my paper, the 10-page paper is due tomorrow. I should look into writing this.
Yes.
You know, like it's easy to not think about these things until it's mid-September and there's 2 weeks left in the season. And you're like, oh, my gosh, what are the head-to-heads? What are the tiebreakers? So I'm right there with you. I think that's a great point.
Okay. Coming off, I was just thinking about a lot coming off the Texas series because how it played out. In terms of the Mariners lining up their 3 guys and watching that take place one after another, and thinking about possible playoffs and what it could mean if you could line up your guys, or better yet, not even play in the first round and line up your guys for a team that's just played 3 games or whatever.
Now that's the next conversation, right? Is it better to have the time off or keep playing? You want to get into that now? How much time do we have left, Gary? Not much.
Maybe that's premature.
Yeah, maybe premature. But the ability, maybe the Phillies. I'm trying to think of like what other teams would you not want?
That's a great question.
To have them be able to line up against you.
Well, Yankees with a healthy Cole and Heel, as if he stays like this, wouldn't be a fun duo.
No. But the Mariners,
your point.
The Mariners are right there in that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to me, the funny thing about it is,
in fact, I would say there's no better 3, 1, 2, 3 in baseball.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And the way that the Rangers series played out, this is no slight to Logan Gilbert, but Logan Gilbert gets slighted all the time.
I know.
Right? Like the guy's a frontline starting pitcher, and he's kind of the 6'7" guys in the shadows in Seattle. Because if you're the Rangers, you're like, oh man, this is terrible. Castillo, Kirby, hey, I know it's Gilbert on Sunday, but maybe it'll be a little bit better than, nope, that's the worst of the trio as it turns out.
Well, I think you can make the case right now that he's been the best pitcher this year for the Mariners, best starter.
Yeah, that would be a pretty fun debate to have if everybody gets assigned a guy and you are in the courtroom and you're making your case.
I think you can make a case for Logan Gilbert right now.
For sure you can.
I mean, coming into after his start, he's the most innings in baseball, and they're really quality innings. An ERA under 3. Like, there's a lot of stuff.
Tied for the most quality starts now.
Yeah.
Last look.
Yeah.
Not sure what happened last night, but it's the Mariners are showing. I was about to say what their high end can be, but I don't think that's yet true. Like, I think there's still room there.
I agree with that.
But it was the perfect storm against Texas. The Rangers were not swinging it, and the Mariners lined up their pitching, and it was a buzzsaw.
Well, yeah, we'll see what happens tonight. The Mariners taking on Cleveland, game 1 of the series.
Mariners pregame has been brought to you by Muckleshoot Casino Resort,
WSECU,
Three Tree Roofing,
and Les Schwab Tire Centers.
Don't go anywhere. First pitch is next.
Add Home Street Bank to your lineup card this season. Whether you're starting a family, buying a home, or nurturing a growing business, they'll help you navigate life's biggest milestones. And they've been doing it with a smile for over 100 years. Look no further than Home Street Bank for all your home loan, personal, and business banking needs. Go to homestreet.com/team. Again, that's homestreet.com/team. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. All loans subject to approval. Springtime is a great time for a quick getaway to the Yakima Valley and Legends Casino Hotel. Enjoy world-class live music and entertainment in a smoke-free environment. Spacious rooms with 52-inch TVs and 65 channels, plus a food court, coffee bar, and the crab boil at the buffet Monday through Wednesday. Come to the Yakima Valley for the sunshine and outdoor adventure and stay for Legends Casino Hotel. Find out more at legendscasino.com. legendscasino.com.
I'm Rick Griffin. I was the head athletic trainer for the Seattle Mariners for 35 years. I found out I had prostate cancer on opening day 2017.
Rick researched treatments.
I had a friend who had prostate cancer, and I saw the side effects, and I thought there had to be a better way.
He chose Fred Hutch Cancer Center proton therapy.
It was much easier than I thought possible. If I had to recommend proton therapy, I absolutely would.
Rick chose proton therapy. Learn more at fredhutch.org/proton therapy.
Sign your kids up for the chance to take the field like a big leaguer at T-Mobile Park. The Mariners are hosting a ballpark camp on Tuesday, June 25th in collaboration with Mariners Training Centers. This co-ed camp is for athletes ages 7 to 17 and will include drills led by professional Mariners Training Center instructors, quick ball games, and so much more. The cost is $225 per athlete, and net proceeds benefit the Mariners Care Foundation. Register your kids today at mariners.com/ballparkcamp.
Less than 10 minutes from Mariners baseball on 710 KIRO AM Seattle.
Way out of here! Oh, baby!
Let's go live to the ballpark for starting lineups and first pitch. Seattle Mariners baseball starts now. Seattle Mariners baseball is on the air.
J.P. Crawford with another leadoff home run.
Seattle Mariners play-by-play is brought to you by your Western Washington Toyota dealers, Seattle's Union Gospel Mission, Michael Subaru of Bellevue, and by your local steel dealer.
It's a sweltering day here in Cleveland. Temperatures right now pushing 90 degrees. We saw just a vicious thunderstorm roll through downtown Cleveland a couple of hours ago. But the good news is the tarp is off the field. We just had our ceremonial first pitch, and we are all clear for takeoff today as the Mariners begin a very lengthy three-city East Coast road trip. We're glad you can join us for Mariners baseball on the radio. The Mariners are coming off just another brilliant homestand. They went 7-1 on the homestand, fresh off a clean sweep against the Texas Rangers. The Mariners now in first place by 9 games. The Guardians in first place by 5.5 over Kansas City. So two teams atop the division taking on one another today in the first of 3. Bryce Miller is up on the mound. He's making his first ever start against the Guardians. He's coming off 7 scoreless against the White Sox. On the other side, Tristan McKenzie for the Guardians, his second start against the Mariners. The Mariners faced him way back when in his season debut, and they chased him in the 4th. When we come back, we'll give you the Mariners starting lineup on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
WSECU is proud to be the credit union for Washington. As a cooperative, we understand the value of teamwork by working together with members and communities all across our state, north to south, east to west. We span mountain ranges, not for profit, but for people, because relationships matter, and banking is better when it's better for everyone. We're WSECU, the credit union for Washington. Join us.
At Valley GMC in Auburn, they have exactly what you need to work, live, and play like a pro. Like the 2024 Sierra 1500. Buy one today and get an extra $1,000 off with your trade-in. Plus, come check out the all-electric Hummer EV. Valley GMC has them in stock and ready to test drive. Check out the selection today at valleygmc.com. That's valleygmc.com. Valley GMC. We are professional grade. See you in the Valley. If you haven't heard by now, SeatGeek is the new official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Seattle Mariners. So whether you're buying or selling tickets to Seattle Mariners games, SeatGeek is the #1 destination for all your ticketing needs. But that's not all. If you're looking to score tickets to other events at T-Mobile Park or events across the Pacific Northwest, SeatGeek is the place to do it. From baseball to ballet, hockey to hip-hop, find it all on SeatGeek, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Seattle Mariners. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Mariners seats.
Baseball fans, Muckleshoot Casino Resort is always a home run.
with the best games, the best restaurants, and the best rooms and luxury suites. Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Bigger, better, and still the best in the Northwest.
Muckleshoot. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
Mariners and the Guardians beginning the series tonight in downtown Cleveland. We'll turn our attention to tonight's Mariners starting lineup. It's presented by Global Credit Union, and here is tonight's healthcare playmaker.
Hi, this is Liz Brockovich with Virginia Mason Franciscan Health, and I'm a referral coordinator at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health, Orthopedics, Silverdale. Here's a Mariners starting lineup for tonight.
Leading off, shortstop,
J.P. Crawford, Palm Beach, California.
Going back, go! Grand slam for J.P. Crawford!
Batting second, the third baseman,
Josh Rojas, Litchfield Park, Arizona.
A home run for Josh Rojas, and the Mariner lead goes to 5-1 here in the 7th inning.
Batting third, the center fielder,
Julio Rodriguez from Loma de Cabrera, Dominican Republic. Let's go.
And there he is, out of here! 2-run homer by Julio!
batting cleanup, the catcher,
Cal Raleigh, Florida State University.
That is way up there and gone on the third deck! A grand slam for Cal Raleigh!
batting fifth, the first baseman,
Ty France, West Covina, California, San Diego State.
RBI single by Ty France, and the Mariners have the lead.
batting sixth, in left field,
Luke Raley, Hinkley, Ohio.
Into the Mariners pen, Big Thunder, Luke Raley.
batting seventh, designated hitter,
Mitch Garver from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
A walk-off two-run home run for Mitch Garver.
hitting eighth, the right fielder,
Dominic Canzone, Cleveland, Ohio, The Ohio State University.
Cleveland, city of light, city of magic.
Dom Canzone, the chef's kiss, and it's out to the foul pole in right field.
batting ninth, second base,
Dylan Moore, Yorba Linda, California, University of Central Florida.
And it's fair, it is gone. Dylan Moore with a tracer to left field.
and taking the ball for the Mariners,
Bryce Miller, Texas A&M.
Strike 396, burned it in top of the zone. Strikeout number 8 for Bryce Miller.
And that's your starting lineup for tonight. Go Mariners.
All right, Liz, thank you so much. Yeah, a couple of Cleveland guys with a homecoming here at Progressive Field, and a couple of old friends. Stephen Vogt, first-year skipper for the Guardians, and Scott Servais, exchanging lineup cards at home plate. That is tonight's Mariners starting lineup, brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy benefits like 24/7, 365 personal service and no-fee accounts. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, strength in members. Mariners and the Guards, as they call them here in town. When we come back on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
Rick Riz here for the Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington's Improve Your Play program. Many of our local youth sports teams need help with field enhancements, training, and equipment. Local Pella owners Keith Dashafy and Luke Wilson are stepping up to donate $5,000 to 2 deserving teams. We need your help finding them. Head to seattlesports.com/play to nominate a deserving team in need. Let's help our local youth improve their play this year with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Contest and rules at seattlesports.com/play.
You're listening to Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
Holy smokes.
Hear Bumpin' Stacy on FM.
This is a good enough ball club to keep anyone on their toes.
97.3 FM HD2. We are Seattle Sports.
Traffic backups are inconvenient, but if your pipes are backing up at home, that's bad. There's only one cure for this pesky problem: the experts at Beacon Plumbing, Heating, Septic, and Mechanical. Trust them to clear your clogs. Stop freaking and call Beacon. 1-800-FREAKIN.
You're listening to Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
Tristan McKenzie up on the mound tonight's Guardians starter, beginning to get warm. You know, Rick, really a great development today. The rainstorm that came through a couple hours ago now makes, I believe, unofficially the 13th straight year it's rained when the Mariners are in town. So the streak remains alive, and this seems like the best version of it because the Mariners will actually be able to play on time.
I'm just glad the rain finally ended, and we'll be able to get this ball game in, the opening game of the 3-game series. At least it's not snowing like it did back in 2007. I know it's June, but 4 games were wiped out. But The rain is gone, Aaron, and a chance to see two first-place teams go at it tonight.
Yeah, this should be a really good series. It always is a good series when these two teams have gotten together in recent seasons. They're two teams. We talked to Scott a little bit about this on his manager show today. They're just built very similarly. They're both pitching first teams, and the bullpen for the Guardians has been especially strong this year. The rotation, of course, for the Mariners has been especially strong. This will be a really entertaining three-game series.
It'll be a chance to try to get to McKenzie again, Tristan McKenzie. They came to town early in the season, opening homestand of the year. They won 2 out of 3, and the one game they lost, they got to McKenzie.
Well, he does not throw as hard as he once did, and we'll see how well he spins it today. That seems to be certainly a key for him.
So here we go with the opening game of the series here in Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome to Progressive Field, everybody. The opening game of the long road trip. Trident's up, everybody. Rick Riz along with Aaron Goldsmith, Gary Hill Jr., and Shannon Dreyer. A steamy evening here in Cleveland. Rain earlier today, but the rain has gone away. Here we go. J.P. Crawford to lead things off. The line of the pitch by Tristan McKenzie is low and inside. It bounces in for ball 1, and we are underway. Fans still coming into the ballpark. This is a big night for Dom Canzone back in Cleveland where he grew up. Watch the Guardians play. Here's a swing and a foul right to the on-deck hitter, jumping high in the air, Josh Rojas, to pull it back down. Now the count is even on JP at 1 ball and 1 strike. The Mariners come into action tonight with a record of 43-31. 12 games over 500 and 9 games up over the Astros and the Rangers. Were beaten up last night at home by the New York Mets 14-2. Next pitch on the way, and it's outside. Ball 2, 2-1 on Crawford. McKenzie ready, the windup and the pitch. High for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Tristan McKenzie, tall kid, 6'5", only 165. He can hide behind a lamppost. 3-3 on the year with a 4.10 ERA. Delivers in there for a strike. And the count is now full on Crawford at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Field in great shape. The grounds crew very busy today, putting the tarp on and off the field a couple of times. Way up the line at third, Jose Ramirez. The windup and the 3-2 to Crawford, and it's in the dirt for ball 4. So JP starts things off with a leadoff walk. Today's first pitch of the game, by the way, brought to you by the Michaels Automotive Group, Toyota and Subaru. 2 great brands, 1 convenient location off of I-90 at Eastgate. Guardians in their dark navy tops with CLE on the jersey and white pants. And for the Mariners, their Northwest green jerseys tonight, gray pants. Here's Josh Rojas, the stretch and the pitch. It's low for ball 1, so McKenzie having a rough time trying to find the strike zone early in this game. Rojas batting .263, 4 home runs, and 15 runs batted in. The Mariners coming off a sweep at home over Texas. Here's the pitch on the way, and a breaking ball is in there for a strike. 1-1. Mariners taking 3 in a row from the Rangers, winning 3-2, 7-5, and 5-0 on Sunday afternoon. Logan Gilbert was absolutely brilliant on Sunday. 8 scoreless innings, gave up only 2 hits. The stretch of the 1-1, swinging a fly ball deep into the gap in right center field, but going back, Will Brennan is there to make the catch. Ball kind of died out there. Rojas flies out, and Crawford heads on back to first base. So 1 on and 1 away, just underway, and that'll bring up center fielder Julio Rodriguez, batting .268 for the year, with 7 home runs and 29 runs batted in. You're going to see Julio's bat really heat up as the season moves along and gets warmer. It is definitely warm tonight here in Cleveland. It is hot. Here's the stretch by McKenzie, and delivers, swing and a miss. A slider down and away, and the count is 0-1. Right now the Mariners at 43-31, as we mentioned. A year ago at this time, after the first 74 games of the year, the Mariners were 500 at 37-37. The next pitch, fastball, is low for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck is Cal Raleigh. Scott Servais has done a great job with his ball club, maneuvering this team through injuries. Ty France activated today off the IL. He's going to be back at first base. Turn around and toss over to first. Crawford diving back to the bag. And make room for Ty. The Mariners have designated for assignment Catcher Sebi Zavala, so we wish him the best. A lot of room on the right side of the infield. Crawford to lead at first, held on by Josh Naylor. Here's the pitch on the way, swinging a ground ball to the second baseman. Up with the ball, Jimenez over to second for one. The relay to first, not in time. Julio is safe at first base. The Guardians cannot turn the double play. Rocchio's throw a little bit late. Brian Rocchio, the shortstop. Julio hustling up the line, is safe at first on a 4-6 fielder's choice. They do get JP at second, so 1 on and 2 away. Looked like that was going to be a double play ball as Jimenez went to his right to go get it, but Julio lined up that line, safe at first, extends the inning, and that gives Cal Raleigh a chance to swing the bat here in the first inning. Tristan McKenzie, 26 years of age, the stretch. And the long hold now, the pitch on the way to Cal. It's in there for a strike. Off-speed breaking ball, and the count is 0-1. Cal batting .206, but 12 home runs leads the ball club and has 43 runs batted in. Ball's going to fly tonight. Here's the pitch on the way, swinging a ground ball up the middle, off to the other side of the bag goes the shortstop Rocchio. He's got it, throws the first in time to get Raleigh. That's going to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on underway here in Cleveland. We go to the bottom of the first. Home Street Bank score, the Mariners 0, and the Guardians coming up.
I'm Rick Griffin. I was the head athletic trainer for the Seattle Mariners for 35 years. I found out I had prostate cancer on opening day 2017.
Rick took charge of his treatment.
I had a friend who had prostate cancer, and I saw the side effects, and I thought there had to be a better way.
He chose Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center proton therapy.
It was much easier than I thought possible. If I had to recommend proton therapy, I absolutely would.
Rick chose proton therapy. Find out why at seattleproton.com.
Baseball began in the mid-1800s in Cooperstown. While Fireside Home Solutions doesn't go back that far, they have been around since 1985. If you're looking for high-quality garage doors, Fireside Home Solutions will help you find the right fit for your home, whether you want a modern look, contemporary style, or traditional charm. Round the bases and check them out at firesidehomesolutions.com or stop by one of their 4 showrooms in Bellevue, Auburn, Tacoma, and Portland. Make memories and love your home with Fireside.
What do thousands of students that rely on free school lunches do during the summer? It's G. Scott here. Sunbucks is a SNAP program that provides free, healthy food when school is out. If you could use the help, simply fill out the form online to determine eligibility for $120 of free food per child. This message is presented by Safeway, where customers can use SNAP to match their produce purchases as well as shop online. Learn more at hungerfreewashington.org/summer EBT.
Looking to take your business to the next level? With Home Street Bank's flexible lending solutions and over 100 years of experience, you can swing for the fences with confidence. Learn more at homestreet.com/homerun. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, all loans subject to approval.
You're listening to Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
We're broadcasting along the Global Credit Union Mariners radio network. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Bryce Miller up on the hill, making his first career start against Cleveland. Stephen Kwan leads it off, left-handed hitter, and a tough out. Here's the pitch on the way, and Kwan takes a fastball for a strike. 0-1. Stephen Kwan having a heck of a year for the Guardians, batting .398. 4 home runs and 17 runs batted in out of Oregon State. Those at third base off the line, Rojas. For Kwan, a left-handed hitter. The windup and the pitch up high for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Miller 5-5 for the year with a 3.48 ERA, making his 15th start of the season. He pitched a beauty his last time out last Wednesday, but a no decision. Mariners won that game 2-1 over the White Sox. Miller wins 7 scoreless innings, delivers just inside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Gave up no runs, only 2 hits. He walked 2 and he struck out 8. One of his best starts of the year, and that was a bounce back start because his previous outing in Kansas City didn't go so well. The windup and the pitch. Strike on the outside corner at 95. And Bryce getting the break right there from home plate umpire Hunter Wendelstadt. Calling balls and strikes tonight. Doug Eddings at first. John Tumpain at second. John Bacon is the umpire at third. Bryce ready. The windup and the 2-2 to Kwan. Swinging a fly ball into straightaway center field. Julio moves back just a step. He's there and he makes the catch. and there's one away. And anytime you can set down Stephen Kwan, that's huge. That's how you beat this Cleveland ball club, because the guys hitting behind him, Jimenez, especially Jose Ramirez and Josh Naylor, these are the guys that drive in a lot of runs, especially Ramirez and Naylor. They have combined to drive in over 100 runs already this year between them. Ramirez 62 RBIs, Naylor 50. But here's Jimenez, not too shabby either, driven in 35. The windup by Bryce delivers. Jimenez takes a fastball strike on the inside corner at the knees at 96. 1-1 the count on the Platinum Glove winner, Andres Jimenez. Still close to third base off the line, Rojas. Here's the pitch, swung on, ground ball right to Josh at third, has it on an easy second hop, steps into the throw, and the toss to tie at first is in plenty of time to get Jimenez with the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 down, no score, bottom of the first. That'll bring up Jose Ramirez. All right, time now for the Ballpark Fence Report, brought to you by All City Fence. 335 down the left and right field lines, 400 feet to straightaway center. Here at Progressive Field, the Ballpark Fence Report brought to you by All City Fence. Celebrating 70 years of security, quality, and craftsmanship. Surround yourself with the very best. AllCityFence.com. Jose Ramirez, switch hitting third baseman, takes a pitch outside for ball one, just off the paternity list. So congratulations to Jose and his family with the addition to their family. Ramirez batting .269, one of the best hitters in this league. 18 home runs, 62 runs batted in. Miller fires away, fastball, swing and a foul, ticks off the top of the netting, back up into the crowd behind the plate, and the count is even on Ramirez at 1 ball and 1 strike. Ramirez had 80 runs batted in all of last year, already 62. And here it is, June the 18th. Bryce Miller, the windup and the pitch, swinging a ground ball, foul up the first base side. Past coach Sandy Alomar Jr. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sandy, one of the great catchers in the history of this franchise, back in 1995. Back in 1990 was the American League Rookie of the Year. We have some ties in between Cleveland and the Mariners. Manny Acta, a number of years ago, was their manager for a couple seasons. The 1-2 pitch to Ramirez. Swing and a pop-up. Third base side, long run. Rojas into foul territory across the back. Coach's box, he's there, and he makes the catch, and that's going to end the inning. So a nice 1-2-3 inning for Bryce Miller. We go to the top half of the second here in Cleveland. Home Street Bank score. The Mariners nothing and the Guardians nothing.
Plan your next getaway at Swinomish Casino and Lodge, where you can experience all we have